Okay, let's go. Hi, everybody. So today, Guillaume and me, we are going to tackle this topic. So this topic will be about how you can leverage a full managed rancher services to unlock the full cluster management. So let's introduce yourself first. So there is Guillaume and me today. So Guillaume will be the product manager for the cloud experience at OVHcloud. I'm the counterpart on everything about product marketing against the container services and product management tools that we have in OVHcloud. So in this session, as I said, we will discover how you can leverage Rancher to manage multiple clusters and different kind of runtime environments in clouds. We also going to explain you what is the main challenges you may have running this kind of multiple cloud and Kubernetes environments. And that will be the first part of the session. And in the second part, we will, with Guillaume, showcase you a demo about how you can connect Kubernetes cluster from different environments, so multi-cloud and also cloud environments. So it will be two steps of how you can leverage this kind of services in the cloud-native application development and migration. And it's mainly for people here in the room who are just becoming to start to scale their Kubernetes environment. So if you have at the beginner steps, you will probably discover new things. If you are already mature and kind of experimented already this kind of tools, that would be nothing special in use, but you will at least discover how we tackle this challenge at OVHcloud and what is our conviction about this kind of topics. Okay? So first, this is the agenda today. So as I said, we will cover in the first part mainly what is the cloud native challenges that we understand as a cloud provider globally with our clients. So what us as a provider, we understand what is happening in the market. We are going to also explain you in a sneak peek few slides about who is OVHcloud for some of you who may not know what we are doing in OVHcloud. And then we will close up with the demo and question that we may have about the solution Rancher. Okay? So first, just as I say, very briefly to explain you how OVHcloud is working. So we are a global company where we provide like a cloud solution against all of the world. So we have data center like everywhere in the world. 42 data center as we speak today. We have 27 data center in Europe to cover all of the different use cases the clients may have. And mainly our conviction is to help customers to expand their cloud services, to provide more services to the end user in an open system way. Okay. So to resume that, our founder and our CEO, so Octave, have a vision about how we can deliver this kind of services. So our three main conviction is about how we can becoming an independent cloud provider. So most of the services that we deliver are open source. We don't lock our customer against those kind of solutions. So you can bring your own services or build your cloud platform with our services and you are never free. You can ever be portable in any cloud or services or infrastructure. Our footprints, as I said previously in the slide before, is global. So you can start on your region in Germany or elsewhere and then scale everywhere in the world depending on where your end user clients are. And also, we are totally reversible. So we have a strong commitment about letting our customer building their own platform to empower them to building their own cloud platform services based on our infrastructure and PaaS platform. Okay. So yes, as I say, our vision is that. So our vision is to empower the technical teams to start and scale their PaaS platforms, their cloud services platform, for the team, but also for the end user they may have, So that's very important for us to choose our partner wisely, our technical stack as well wisely, regarding the way how we can deliver this vision against the market. OVHcloud, so the history of OVHcloud, and I'm not going to go in deeper details about that, just remain that originally OVH is a 20 years old company, and originally we are bootstrapped, so the maturity we are on the cloud now, it's becoming from a long journey about experimenting different kind of technology to now have some technical stacks that we can deliver with a kind of a confidence with our customer. And moreover that, the fact that we experimenting internally the technology is also we are very eager and careful about how we collect the feedback of our customer to improve our services. So these two main approaches help us today to have, let's say, a current platform where we can bring the best of the solution in terms of open source solution for our client to develop their own application. Today we talk about cloud native solution, but we can also help our customer to shift and lift their original workload legacy, and they can even still bring their legacy in our different kind of solution we provide in terms of infrastructure. So you may find a private cloud solution, you may find bare metal solution to help those kind of transition you may have, because we also know that everyone go their own pace. So you can also progressively migrate your legacy workload to more than one with our public cloud platform, but we can also leverage other solutions to help you to conduct the infrastructure, to build this infrastructure on private cloud, by example. Just a quick focus on how we deliver this kind of promises on the German market. So in Germany we have 2 data centers. One is in Frankfurt. So also because OVHcloud has a strong commitment to bring data sovereignty in Europe, you may find different kind of data center all across Europe. So there is in Germany, there is in Poland. And most of our data centers, as I said previously, are based in France because we are originally a French company. But we continue the development of those data centers all across the world. So this was a quick sneak peek on the OVHcloud presentation, just to explain you who we are, where we come from, and why it makes sense that we work now with Kubernetes technology and also Rancher. Because we are delivering these promises of being open source and also high versatile. So you can connect everything, every of your platform, every of our infrastructure against this kind of solution. Now, I would like to know more about you because we also, as I mentioned earlier, are very eager to learn about our customers. So to also tailor the presentation we will make with Guillaume later, I just would like to give you, I just would like to take a few minutes of your time to answer this question, also because it's a way to be more participative in terms of presentation. So can you just pick up your smartphones and connect to the Slido to the QR code? With the code, there is 2 or 3 questions. Yes, you can. Yeah. So just to get to know more about yourself, it's not we are not collecting private data. It's just about who we are and what is your main challenges you may have today when it comes from connecting your different cloud native systems all together. So first question. Which description describe you the best in terms of the role and responsibility you may have in your organization or as a manager? Because regarding the responsibility you may have, You also may encounter different kind of problematics along the way through your cloud native journey. And that's what we are trying to know when we speak about Rancher, because depending of the responsibility you may have, you also may have a different kind of utilization of Rancher. So that's good to know as well to orient the discussion that we may have at the end of the presentation, by example, or during the demo we will make later. So most of you are responsible for the addition of cloud technology, so I assume you have a manager or cloud architect role. So that's interesting, because also it means that you're also responsible for the choice you may made on the long term. So choice that make today may have an impact in the further time. Thanks for your answer. So next question. Next question is what is the best description for you of Kubernetes cluster management? So it's an open question, just to get to know about when it comes the discussion on the technological troubles you may encounter, the challenges you may encounter, or the benefit you see in the cluster management. What for you the words or the sentence describe you the best these kind of challenges? If you have to pick up one name. Okay, orchestration, the downtime. It also means that when you collect different kind of cluster and workload running beyond those cluster, what is it important for you? By example, what is the main problematics you may find on that in terms of management of a team? Because most of you have management role or architecture role. What is the main words that keep running in your head when you are trying to leverage those kind of transition, by example, to legacy application to a more modern one? What is the main word you may find? So orchestration. So okay. So orchestration lies on also for containers world. So maybe it's also a topic of security or connection, networking connection between those two containers. So that's interesting, because we had this conversation with Guillaume about how we define Rancher against Kubernetes, if it's a management tool or orchestration tool. We may have also this discussion later. So that's interesting. And last question, what is your top one legacy application migration challenge? So I assume as well that most of you have already go through this journey of migrating your legacy application or some legacy application in any project. So I just would like to know what is describing the best topic when it comes to that subject, to that topic of legacy workload application. So it's infrastructure automation. Okay, interesting. Application deployment, there is most of your challenge. Okay, it's interesting. Access and network security. The first one. Okay, so interesting as well, because it's one of the key functionality of Rancher is also to manage and standardize this way to address those kind of topic of access and networking. So we also going to see in brief details how you can do that with Rancher later on. Thank you for your answer, because it's really interesting to see how you what is your main challenge against this transition to more modern application. Today, if we can summarize this long journey of optimization of the way that you use the application, we can resume that in few words, in few sentences. But everything comes originally from virtualize your physical machine to optimize the cost infrastructure ownership. And now we're going to go further and further in the stage that we can go more and more infrastructure as a code. So between this 20 years story, a lot of things happens, but in a few words, the main focus was to optimize the way that the server and the virtualized machine are used. And today with containers, is the next step and the next evolving step in using this kind of machine to offer more services, more easily, also more faster than you can do it with a virtualized environment. Most of the time, it's not useful for every kind of workload, so you may find yourself in the way that you can't use containers to run kind of application who needs high resiliency or high availability or high power. But today with containers, we believe that you can deliver faster time to market in terms of new functionality and new services. And also the major shift between the old legacy application to the modern ones is the way that the containers are decoupled from runtime environments. So for a DevOps environment, you don't need to really take care about how the runtime environment is working, and instead focus on how you want to deliver the new application on those kind of runtime environments. So the benefits that brings today containers can be summarized in two kind of pillars. So the faster time to market, so you can accelerate the way that you develop new functionality, test them, and put them in production. It needs a new way to address that with DevOps practical and agile way to work. But at the end of the time, it's help you to be more faster on the market by delivering new services. It's also allow your teams to work more efficiently because you can create cluster, as we can see later, to different kind of purpose, test and experimentation, pre-production and production. You can also invent new organization way to address this kind of new services and new iteration process. And obviously, the last one is to optimize your cost ownership by densify the way that you use your virtual machine with a lot of containers and cluster. You can organize better your architecture to be more productive. So we estimate today that 50% of the organization are already one or few workloads in containers. And it's going to be deeper and deeper in the next few years, especially for the applications who are not designed to be in a virtualized environment, traditional virtualized environment. Sorry. So that is the global overall context of cloud native labs. So why we came from when we came to know where we goes to more and more serverless application, where to put in production new application with containers, and it brings more time to market ability and also more cost efficiency in terms of server ownership. But now there comes new challenges because depending on where we are in your containerized journey, you may find yourself to have different kind of problematics. So the first one is easy, and you probably already go to these steps. So using few containers on your own laptop, by example, so you can install containers or running few containers on one server or one computer. It's kind of easy because you don't have to manage the security and network aspect. The second step is when you already have few containers to run a bigger application. So each container lies to a specific services. And then you need to tie up this kind of container to build a massive application. So you start to thinking about how to do it with cluster. Then you may have multiple clusters for different kind of parts of the application, of different kind of environments. So now you are more in the way to thinking your next step, how to manage this fleet of clusters all together to be more efficient. And then the last final step is to think about what's kind in where I'm going to host this different cluster regarding the needs of this cluster in terms of resources, in terms of rapidly new development with pre-built, by example, container or services. So you came from testing containers or it works and you can do mostly anywhere that could be in or your own laptop to have a lot of containers on a lot of different kind of cluster. We're using different kind of distribution of cluster and on different cloud. So it's another way to manage infrastructure. You need probably bigger team. You need also processes to put in production this kind of cluster, and it's going to be more and complex. Okay, great. So I'm going to be faster now. So container as self-contained small artifacts of business logic, as you may know. It's easy to run, as I say, few containers on a machine, but then it comes to manage few. You need to manage few containers, so it's became more and more complex because you need how to run those clusters on virtual machine and how to operational this kind of services on those machines. So that's the main problematics you may find, and you can address it with Rancher, the way how works the cluster and how to operational this use of cluster. And this can lie on those kind of infrastructure. So you may have different kind of cluster for different kind of use case. So for production, pre-production, and or testing experimentation. And with Rancher, you can add a supervised layer to manage the life cycle of this application. And this configuration needs to be done for each cluster. So probably you need to have specific configuration for cluster in pre-production. That will be not the same for the cluster in production. So that's the thing can do the upper layer of Rancher. And to provide this as a service, you can leverage provider like us to have a managed solution with already installed and up to date, without to take care about where it is hosted and how you can manage it. The cherry on the cake of that is with Rancher, it's interconnected with a large ecosystem of open tier application to put in production your containers, to manage the life cycle, or even to monitor and access to data underlying the clusters. And then I will hand over to Guillaume to explain you how you can manage the different aspects of the multi-cloud and multi-cluster with Rancher. Thank you.
Thanks.
Ton micro.
Thanks. So I'm Guillaume, and I will do a live demo. So please, God of network and live demo, be with me. So let's put us in a situation where we are. So this imaginary organization has made this digital transformation, as teams have tried to containerize application, to put the workload on Kubernetes, and it has been a bit the wild, wild west. There is clusters everywhere, clusters on 2 public cloud providers, clusters on-premise, clusters on a private cloud, and your team needs to put some governance on those clusters. So here there is a dozen of clusters, but maybe there is 100, maybe more. It depends on the size of the organization and where it is in its journey. For those who don't know what's governance, governance means applying rules that can be either external, based on laws, or internal. I want to protect my IP, I want to protect my assets, my reputation. So this is rules so that we protect the company. And in a situation like this, we have stuff to control everywhere. So this is where the demo begins. So let me just change the display so that we see the same thing. On the 2 displays, and we will be ready to go. Mirror. Okay, so I will go. Yeah, I can up. We'll go to the. So I can close that one. We'll go to the control panel of OVHcloud. So it's quite classical. You see categories here and container orchestration with our 3 main products. And here we see Rancher as a service. So we will spawn a new Rancher service, and after I will use ones that I've prepared. But just to show you the time to spawn, and I will put some spoiler in the name of the cluster. So you can, currently the service is in beta, so it's free, so you can try it, create an account, try it. In the GA version, we will have 2 versions. Maybe I will explain after the difference between the GA, or you can come by at the booth tomorrow after to talk about the difference. But here it will be the standard version. I take the last one, which is 2.8.2. I think the last one is actually 2.8.3 currently, but so we are really close. And so I launch the spawn, and okay, I already have an IP DNS record for it. I will generate access code, so it means one-time password that I will be requested. Ça marche pas. Hop, I'm not sure this. Okay, I don't want that. Here I use randomly password. I need to put another password. Here I don't care because I will delete afterwards, so I use the one that was proposed to me. And here, so in seconds, literally, I have a Rancher instance that is ready, that is just for me. So I see some person that did a presentation that was quite advanced at compared to what we will see afterward. However, this, having a Rancher instance for you in seconds, this is, I think, quite nice, and congrats to the teams that did that. Yeah, and when we talk about governance, one thing that is really, I think, at the base of the governance is the authentication of the users that will be able to, and the roles that will be able to interact with the cluster management. So this is what I will showcase afterwards. So we will not see what I'm going to show you here. We will not see that because in the other cluster, I have configured the GitHub integration, so we will see that, and we will do a demo around the GitHub integration. However, this is built in Rancher, and well, you can use it and configure it to plug it to your identity provider of your enterprise. And once you have that, you will be able to begin the work to federate all the clusters. So, coming back to the slides. Okay, so we were there, and now we have one Rancher at OVHcloud, and we will need to import all the different clusters. So this is what I have prepared for the other clusters. Sorry. Okay, the other cluster, this one I can close. Okay, this I will delete this one. So this one is the prepared one. Go to Rancher, sorry. So I have set up the GitHub. Maybe I can log out. I have set up the GitHub integration on that one. So you see, I can use 2 kinds of login. Local user, so there's only one local user, is the admin one, the one with which I have created the cluster. After that, I am only able to log in with GitHub. So here, you will see in my demo, I have 2 GitHub users. So black is the admin, and you will see another one, light team, is the developer. Okay, so what you see here is 3 clusters. One which is Amazon AKS that I have imported. Second one, OVHcloud managed services. So there's a driver in Rancher to connect to our managed Kubernetes offer. And a third one, which is self-managed nodes on our infrastructure as a service. So there's a second driver if you want to use our IaaS to have some cluster where you manage totally your cluster. So this can be the case because, for instance, you want a specific version of Kubernetes, or you want a specific CNI, you want Calico, your provider don't provide it, or any reason you want to stay on a low version of Kubernetes and your cloud provider is not providing it anymore. That can be many reasons. Now, so for those who don't know Rancher, what is there in Rancher? You can see globally the state of the clusters. There is a nice integration that was mentioned by Nova Credit yesterday, which was appreciated, the built-in the integration with the monitoring, so you can see easily the Grafana status, and you can also install it. I can show you a cluster where I think the EKS is not installed. So we see here install the monitoring, so we can really easily install built-in monitoring, for instance. Yes, there is also something interesting if you want to enable your consumer of your cluster to use some Helm chart. So Helm chart is a way to package an application, and you have repositories that are that contain those package. And here I have added Bitnami, which is a famous open source one. So you can choose. Hopefully, we should be able to see it here. Maybe it's a bit taking a bit time because there is quite a lot of packages on Bitnami. We should be able to see the Bitnami packages. Yeah, it's quite long because there's quite a lot. And for instance, we do a lot of WordPress at OVHcloud, so you see here the package. I can install it in 2 clicks. Okay, so now moving on. We were there, and now we have drawn some lines between our existing cluster. But unfortunately, there is still another one that was discovered. So we are going to import it live. And yeah, it's an OVHcloud cluster, so one more that we just discovered. So I will just show you how to do that in Rancher. Okay, sorry. It's okay. So I will put a name, Shadow IT cluster, because it was one. And yeah, member roles, okay. Okay, create. So here, Rancher will provide me the kubectl to apply to the cluster so that it will deploy internally the agent so that it can be managed by Rancher, and then we will be able to see it in the list. So we had 3, we will have 4 hopefully. So I take back my CLI. So kubectl, I have to apply what was provided to me by Rancher. Okay, so it takes a bit of time. Let's take. So Rancher deploys his agent in a namespace inside the cluster. The namespace is called Cattle System, and we see that here it's terminated. So hopefully it should be okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, Shadow, it's waiting, okay. Oh, okay, it's active. So if I go here, I see it here. Okay, now I want to provide access to one of the developer that was part of this Shadow IT clusters and it's the other GitHub users. So we'll first, before providing access, we will log in to the cluster, to the rancher to see what he is seeing. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, I log in also with GitHub. Here, OAuth mechanism, I have to authorize my application to access to my GitHub account, so let's do it. And normally, yeah, I don't see anything, I have no rights. Okay, I come back to the manager profile. Okay, and I go to project and namespace. This is where you provide access, and I don't recall. Oh, edit config. Okay, I will provide access. No, it's not there. Sorry. Project cluster. Okay. Project membership, and here I will add. So the group GitHub group GitHub team, in fact, is the dev of Rancher demo dev. Okay, I add it. I come back to the dev. I don't know if I have to reload it or something. Let's reload it. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, so as let's be sure that this is okay, and another feature that I did not talk to you about, the built-in shell in the browser, and that is already configured, so kubectl get all. Okay, I have access, I can download the kubeconfig so that I will work on my laptop on it. I come back. Okay, let me just do that, and we are almost finished. I change the kubeconfig so that it's correctly configured, and I do the get all just to be sure. Get all. Nice. Now, this developer is working, but he has some good opportunities somewhere else. He decided to leave. Now, he has on his laptop the kubectl file, and I want this to be cut. Okay, so what will I do? I will go inside. One way to do this is to go inside the GitHub organization, because you want his access to be cut from Rancher, but everywhere, no access to any application of the company. So this is that user. So I will remove it. Remove from organization. Okay. Okay. Now, since the synchronization from Rancher is not trigger-based or event-based, and currently the default configuration is once per day, I have to come back into Rancher and to say here, refresh group membership. And this is the last. Now, I'm back on the dev environment with the kubeconfig file from my dev, and hopefully we should be rejected. Let's see. Yeah! So my my user has been cut, so I removed it from my organization identity, and this has propagated modulo the refresh group. So I've spoken to Suzy people to say this is not that good. I would that to be automatic, not every day, or not a full sync every at a cron based. But yeah, basically this is it. So I've not showed every features of Rancher, but you have a sneak peek. You know you can use it for free at OVHcloud until it goes GA. And we have a booth at the Downstream Technology Showcase, so come and speak to us. And yeah, I have not shown you something. The most important. As an administrator, I'm a bit curious, and I can see the workloads that are deployed. And if I go to the service, yeah, I go here. Wow, that was a really nice application.